Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot and welcome for your reading for the new moon in Aries for April 2021. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time discussing the astrology of the moon because Saturday evening, 6 p.m. GMT, so 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific, I'll be live streaming for the new moon. I'll be doing readings there as well. And also, I'll be having on astrologer David Fisher so we can pick apart the new moon on the astrology level. As ever, this is a general reading, or will be once I cover what I've pulled out of the new moon. And general reading rules apply. You know, there's an intro here with a timestamp below, so you can fast forward to the reading, one if you want to, but please hang around once for this intro, because I would like you to watch your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, especially your rising sign. That's the one that I always feel is the most important. But hey, it's a new moon. Watch your moon sign. But in the first, I'm just going to pick out some aspects. It's probably the wrong word to use in this case. Some significations of this new moon. But as a general reading, you know, general reading rules will apply. Timing's not absolute. Roles can get reversed. You know the plot by now. And although you can ask a question prior to the reading, so you can have a think about that while I'm going through the moon itself, then hopefully that reading will give you some form of answer and you'll be able to tell if it's not a reading for you. It's a Celtic cross this time, so it's still, I don't like that idea of take what resonates. It's either the lot or nothing. That's the way my mind works. Whole thing or nothing at all. But again, with a Celtic cross, there is an element of past and present, so you'll be able to tell whether it's for you or not. Right, let's get on to this moon, 22 degrees Aries. Now, on the Facebook page for this channel, I've already posted a lot of the astrologers discussing this new moon, and every time I find a new show, I'll be posting that up there as well. So as you know, with the sun ingress into Aries, that's the start of the astrological new year. But it's almost like that between the sun ingress into Aries and the new moon in Aries is almost like a planning time, a waiting time, a time of potential. And the new moon in Aries is what really kicks the year off. Now, this year it's at 22 degrees Aries and is ruled by the angel Melahel, who as a degree angel represents sharing the flame, a healing capacity. That's good signs to start off with. Now, as one of the Shem HaMephorash, that's the angels who bear the name of God, and the meaning of Melahel's name is the God who deflects the evil. Now, all of these angels have 5 points around the zodiac, and I've been drawn recently to study these 5 points because, hey, that's where my background is. I want to know about the pentagrams. So, Melahel, you'd think all of them, but not according to the reference I've been looking at. But Melahel's 5 points do indeed form a pentagram, as do most of the degree angels, but strangely not all of them. Nithaya is one that doesn't. So if you have planets, obviously at 22 degrees Aries, but also 4 degrees Cancer, 16 degrees Virgo, 28 degrees Scorpio, or 10 degrees Aquarius, this could be a wonderful new moon to start something really, really creative, because it's a direct pentagram, quintile aspects between the various points, obviously, and there can be some wonderful energies being brought up by that. The fact that it's at 22 degrees, 24 minutes, is it 24 minutes? Yeah, 24 minutes Aries. It's in the first half of 22 degrees, because looking at the symbols, this degree is a little bit double-edged. But just going back to that pentagram, this is also the pentagram of the Saturn of Dion Fortune of the Order of the Golden Dawn. So if you know anything about Dion Fortune, you know that I expect setting intentions, doing some form of creative magic, or doing some form of creative project, starting it on the 3 days of this new moon to have some extra whammy, extra blessing, especially if you invoke the angel Melahel in this process. You know, even if it's you're just about to put paintbrush to canvas and say, Melahel, assist me with this. Angels need permission. They can't just do what they're designed to do without your permission, because they will always respect your free will. And Melahel especially is about those healing efforts. Supports the development of your healing gifts, I'm looking at right now, and helps you to accept those parts of you that you feel are hard to love. Restores and revitalizes with the energy of love. That's coming from an Aurosoma site that I used to think Aurosoma was a bit weird, and then I tried using it one time, only the one bottle, but I had spectacular results. So if you find one of those, what they called essences that you're drawn to, go for it. Now, Melahel is a guardian angel of a period of Cancer, July the 12th to the 16th. So if you are Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising, this should also be very, very useful to work with Melahel in your new creative project. And in terms of doing the magic, there is, now, where is it? Oops, I've put it in the wrong place. So there is, from Franz Barden, he, through his magical work, he found names and sigils for what he called the degree heads, those beings that exemplify, can explain the energy of each individual degree of the zodiac, as beings that a magician can evoke. Now, the name of the entity or degree head for 22 degrees Aries is Belisarius. Now, quoting from Barden's notes, this head, like the two foregoing ones, is superior to the others in wisdom, cleverness, and sagacity. And he teaches the magician to apply the laws of the zone girdling the earth by the Akasha principle to realize them in the physical world. Belisarius is always willing to help the magician in any respect. So, as well as invoking Melahel, maybe have a little word with Belisarius as well. And what that phrase meant in English, he teaches the magician to apply the laws of the zone girdling the earth, i.e. the zodiac, the ecliptic, by the Akasha principle to realize them in the physical world. This, now, I am not a fan of quite a lot of the manifestation philosophies. I think it's taken a perfectly valid magical law and forgotten the fact that there's numerous others, depending on who you listen to. There's 6 others or there's 21 others, you know. So 22 would figure with the major arcana, really, wouldn't it? Or the tree of life. So even with that, with the description of Belisarius and his capabilities, that it's the secret incarnate, you know. So which is perfect for setting things into motion. With Melahel's, getting my teeth tongue-tied, Melahel's healing influence as well, because hey, world needs a lot of healing at the minute, doesn't it? So I don't think there's any of us in the life that couldn't do with a little smattering of some good healing energy, either for ourselves or that we can then radiate out into the world in a good hippie woo woo fashion, and actually do some good and improve the world. Now, this degree says take a chance. Looking at the Chandra symbol, the inside degree of this degree is Aries 23, because 22 degrees Aries to 23 degrees Aries is the 23rd degree, is a bottle labelled Drink Me. Now, if you remember, this is what made Alice in Wonderland shrink. The interpretation written from Inside Degrees is the force of events sweeps away who we thought we were and plunges us to a deeper place beyond the known. The sheer immediacy, the sudden clarity shifts mountains of intent into a different octave altogether. Being taken by storm is the most direct path from here to there. And when cosmic worlds are urgently coming through, the only smart thing to do is to step aside and make a huge amount of room for unexpected guests at events that you could never have arranged in your wildest dreams. Now, that, I think, is beautiful. Another interpretation says the bottle asks you to try something whose results you won't know until you do it. Take a chance. Just as the painter applies successive layers of paint to see what will happen. We tend to think it's good to be careful, but not always. This degree has a refreshing lack of caution that most often carries it to surprising and wondrous places. So we've got that manifestation energy. We've got that healing energy. Now, this is not something that's just naturally going to come in. This is something that you have to actually ask for and intend to use, because intent is everything. But there's, like I say, this degree is a little double-edged. Let's have a look at the symbols. I'm looking at the wrong page here. Was it Kosminski? Right, the Safarial degree symbol says it is a degree of weakness. Adriana Corelli says it's a degree of fatality. Now, that is not as bad as what it sounds. I'm not talking about a Mortal Kombat fatality. It's setting something into motion karmically and receiving karma where required. I mean, okay, we've just had a year's worth of zodiac action that's been all about clearing karma, but I personally think that it's probably something that's never going to entirely run out. Now, the Cherubel degree symbol says that in a birth chart, this can be malefic, to put it gently. I don't want to focus on this. Kosminski says it's a symbol of entrapping. So where I'm saying ask Belisarius, Melahel to assist you in your creative projects, ask especially Melahel also for the guidance, if it be right, and it harm none. All of those magical laws, and it harm none is one that tends to be forgotten. People just remember the do as thou wilt to be the whole of the law. It's and it harm none, do as thou wilt be the whole of the law. But you are opening a door to adventure with this particular new moon. Now, speaking of that, it's also something that you may not know what the result is, but you're unlikely, David will correct me Saturday night if I'm wrong, but you're unlikely to be upset in your efforts by some surprise left field event, because the moon is talking to every single planet in the sky bar Uranus. So there isn't that for the moon related projects. I'm not saying something unexpected won't turn up. There's Uranus aspects that's no doubt coming up. I can't remember off the top of my head. But in this one issue that you use the new moon for, this healing new project, what have you, it's not that the result will be unexpected, it's that you don't necessarily know what it is, but it's not something that's going to come and knock you off your feet unless that's in a good way. That's how I would interpret that. I'm putting all this information here for you to make your own mind of and see what feels right. And obviously, it links with your own chart and what way the wind's blowing. And you know, there's Dane Rudyard with the Sabian symbol, a pregnant woman in a light summer dress, um, are showing it's indicating the conception and gestation, obviously, of the project that you are wanting, that you can use this new moon to come around. He sees this as a degree of inner fulfillment, or the potential of reaching towards inner fulfillment, and it has a keynote of fecundity, harvest. So it's double-edged. Ask for guidance, check that it's with the divine plan, and all the little caveats that you want to put in. And if you don't normally put those in, start. I am not suggesting that your will not be done, but the way I was trained, or the way I was work, was always add that "and it harm none," if this be in line with the divine plan, all those sort of caveats, and then go for it hell for leather, probably the wrong phrase, to see what occurs. And you're giving spirit the freedom to take you to the right place while working on what hopefully feels right for you. So, as I said, ask a question. And you don't have to watch this a second and third time, don't worry. Ask your question and I will bring the cards up. So, Gemini, this new moon is occurring in your incredibly social 11th house. This is where the cosmos can grant wishes. It's all about luck, friends, social occasions, and to an extent building you up ready for your dive into the 12th house. At least that's the way I see it. I'm sure David will correct me if I'm wrong. But I rather feel like there's something that you have been concentrating on to the exclusion. That's the phrase I'm looking for. To the exclusion of all else. There is something where there are a number of options open to you right now to already receive the benefits of what you're doing. We have a clarification card of the Empress here and the Empress down on what is here. But your situation card, for want of a better name, is the Two of Swords. There is something that you are being blind to here. This particular Two of Swords, to me, always represents someone so fixated on what they are doing that they're not necessarily aware of the environment around them. However, this wolf here, although I initially thought that this rock climber is so fixated on getting up the rocks that she's not aware of that wolf approaching her. But in this particular deck, Spellcaster Tarot, the wolves, I tend to see them as allies. So that is someone protecting her that she's not paying any attention to. That is reinforced by the Four of Pentacles being what Spirit is bringing in for you. The ability to create a firm foundation for whatever your creative project that I talked about in the introduction is going to be moving forward. One way you're going to get benefit of it. But you have to put it bluntly, open your eyes, Gemini, because there are a lot of options around you at the moment. So it's almost as if you are fixated on one path and one path alone, and you actually have a multiplicity of paths ahead of you that you can use. The reason that you are focusing on this one path is because you believe you are missing something. Five of Cups here. But I want to remind you that you are able to focus on what's left. You've been through what the Sun implies here is a good time regarding this issue. But now all of a sudden, it's as if you've closed in, you've gone from the warm to the cold. So with the Five of Cups here, you feel as if something has been lost. I'm not entirely sure that that's fair. I just think that your focus has narrowed, but you are now being called to level up. Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and if you watch my readings, you know very well, I say level 1 complete, start level 2 as a beginner. And this is going to be quite a Herculean task. However, you do have the strength to perform this task, and you know it. We have the Magician here. You've gone from the Sun to this really focused, this is how I'm going to do things way, going to the Magician. With the opposition of what's going on for you being the Nine of Cups, the wish fulfillment, it's I'm rather seeing that this is something that you have programmed out in your mind, how you are moving forward on whatever it is that you're moving forward on, and refer to your question for that. But maybe you're being a little bit narrow-minded on how, or too controlling on how this is to unfold in your life, when somebody else here is also protecting you. Seven of Swords here can be strategy, can be theft. But it's almost like this person here is taking the swords away so nobody can hurt themselves with them. Like I think on the original Rider Waite, it was someone sneaking into an enemy encampment to try and steal their weapons. Now, I don't feel like there's that hostile intent here. It's more a case of, let's just move all these pieces of broken glass so they don't try to use this. Because if they do, somebody will get hurt, and probably them, i.e. you, So they are protecting you here. And because they are protecting you, you feel that something is lost. Because there feels like quite an interplay between these two cards. That sense of loss comes from them protecting you, and them protecting you comes from that sense of loss. Like a ever-decreasing circle, or a vicious circle. Vicious circle is what I'm wanting to use here. However, with Spirit and this other person protecting you, if you gain awareness, notice how she's looking towards the Seven of Cups here, the options. If you gain awareness of the multiple options, now I am not saying that you abandon the option that you are working on. What I am saying is that you also work on other options at the same time. To quote the old phrase, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And what this is telling me is that there's more than one way to accomplish what you are trying to do. And it's not that you need to change what you are doing. It's that you need to add to what you are doing. So take Boolean logic. There's an if-then statement. If I do this, that will happen. Okay. And I think that may well be true. However, if you do a second thing, that can also get you to the original goal, but may have something else come in with it as well, which is in your interest. Empress here, Empress here. That good harvest, that sense also of planting seeds. By doing more than one approach, You are planting seeds that are going to come around later, because what you really want here, Two of Cups, the Two of Cups promises a union. So whether this is a relationship thing, or a working with a certain person, working with a certain organization, learning a certain discipline. What this Seven of Cups here is telling me is that right now you have the option to spread your net wide, and you should. Netzach here is saying keep going on what you're doing. Absolutely. That which resists, endurance. Got that right, isn't it? It's not that which abides. Yeah, that which resists. But with Rochelle here, from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, saying about restitution, whatever it is that you feel is lost, if you add into your daily routine, plan of action, what have you, something to try and encourage, not that whatever you've lost to come back, but something like it to come back, I think you're going to end up working with the energy, force, or person that you're wanting to work with. Two of Cups here, Two of Wands here. That's a decision that you have to make, but you have to loosen up about how you want this progression of events to unfold. Yes, absolutely carry on what you're doing, but also add to it, because yeah, spread your net wide, I think, is the best way I can sum that up. Anything else? That's pretty much everything that I see there, Gemini. So that was short and sweet, wasn't it? This happy sun period is going to come back, but if you think about it, when you are under the sun, you are a passive receptor of the sun's energies. All you have to do is be there. With the magician can summon a sun into existence. So you are taking a far more active role if you make the decision to do it. And bear in mind that whoever has appears to be blocking your path by saying no, by having taking something away from you, they are actually trying to protect you. Yep, that's a lot. Right, so remember, 6 p.m. GMT, so just for your local time zone, on Saturday, with the new moon the day after, or even that day, depending where you are in the world. So astrologer David Fisher will be joining me. If this reading meant anything to you, please do comment down below, because it's always good to know. And it's a YouTube channel. Please press like, please share, and please definitely subscribe. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. And yeah, so basically, I suppose the summation of this, Gemini, is loosen up a bit. Cheers.